Hello everyone, today I'll be doing a three-part video on how I practice at home and how you can practice at home. So first of all, we're going to start with a little warm-up idea. Then I usually move on to playing something I enjoy. So at the moment I really enjoy making a cappella videos and doing duets. Then we move on to the tough stuff and we move on to the practice side of things. So these are just little ideas that you can do and little steps that you can take to practice hard parts of your pieces to get them as perfect as they can. I hope you enjoy. So first of all, we're going to start off with the arpeggio warm-up. This is a really simple warm-up. All it takes is you knowing your arpeggios chromatically. You might need to write this down first. It's a really good way of practicing them all and just having the sound in your head. So the way that you'll do it is you will go up in one key and down in the chromatic key next, okay? C, then we move up to C sharp and come down in C sharp major. Then we move up to D and come back down in E flat. Then we move up to E and come back down in F major. Go up in F sharp. Come down in G, go up in A flat, come back down in A, go up in B flat, come down in B, and finally back to C. Once you've managed to get it nice and smooth around that tempo, then you can start speeding it up. It's a really good little warm-up, especially if you're around people, because I know that fear of playing in front of people for the first time before you started playing with the band or however you're playing with them. So then you can make it nice and cool. Just have a go at playing something you enjoy. Like I mentioned earlier, this can be anything from literally a Disney song or your favourite film tune or your favourite pop song to maybe something a bit harder. At the moment, I'm really into making a cappella videos. I have done a tutorial of this before. And that's just basically putting a duet of yourself together. It is really fun to do. So if you're out of ideas, maybe that's something you can have a go at. Once you've warmed up and you feel ready to play, pick out your pieces, whether these are for your grades or just a piece that you really want to be able to play, but maybe it's too fast and you're finding it quite difficult. Get the piece out, get a recording device, so your phone or anything that you have that can record, either audio or film. Record yourself playing the piece, then listen back to it and circle any indiscrepancies that you make. Once you've identified these little mistakes, what you need to do is get a metronome, okay? So a metronome is, I'm sure you've heard it, keeping the tempo. Get your metronome, whether that be an app. This is called Metrotimer and it's in the App Store and the Play Store. If you don't have access to that, then have a look on your phone and see if there's another app that you can do. If not, YouTube is really good. Get your metronome and make sure you put it down to way below the tempo that the piece is supposed to be at. So for example, today I'm playing this piece that is supposed to be around 180 to 200 BPM. It's a bebop piece, so it is really fast. And I'm obviously starting at 110, which is a lot slower, okay? You pick out those bits that you can't play perfectly and you play them at the slow tempo with the metronome. Once you've done that, if that was really easy, just speed that metronome up by 5 BPM, no more than 5, okay? If 5's too much, obviously pull it back, do what you need to do. Okay, you will notice that between 110 and 115 there really isn't much of a difference in the sound. However, it is going to make it so much easier getting those quavers perfect and getting that speed up. Whilst you're doing this, you'll probably get to a certain tempo and get a bit stuck. Okay, so for example, we've got all the way up to 160 now, which is fantastic. And now we just can't seem to get through it and we can't seem to go over it. So what I'd say now is to bring in the 5 rule, okay? So this is something that I do with myself. I also make pupils do, so any of my pupils that are watching this, I honestly do it too. So what you need to do is you need to pick out that tiny little piece, so that tiny little bit. So for example, here it could be this part. And you need to play that 5 times. And every time you make a mistake, you start the 5 times again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay? If you make a mistake on any of those tries, you start it again. Once you've done that, go for a little break, come back, and you will definitely be able to play those quavers at that tempo. And eventually, you'll get them up to that nice quick tempo. Good luck and happy practicing!